It's time to take the pacifier out you ninjas' mouth. Right? It's time to take the pacifier out you ninjas' mouth. It's time for y'all to come off the nipple. Right? It's too many men out here who are not self-reliant. Part of being a man is being able to be self-sufficient. Right? We fallen as men, man. We fallen as men. Bro, we fallen as men. The whole point of being a man is being able to be self-sufficient. That's what many of our ancestors did in a way more tumultuous time. Right? In a way more chaotic time. Right? In a way more diabolical time. Men have had to be self-sufficient, not for themselves, but for the sake of society and for the sake of their families. Men with the families and relationships have been destroyed now. So ninjas y'all can't even be self-sufficient for your damn selves. Right? I'm seeing men who can't even, bro, like men are not even self-sufficient for themselves. Dudes can't even think, right? Don't know how to be creative for their damn selves. Don't know how to think outside the box. Don't know how to do anything, right? Don't know how to create a website. Ninja, you don't even need to code anymore, ninja. I created my first website many years ago. I went to a coding boot camp. I did all that stuff. Right? Listen, like my previous statements, you have to be a jack of all trades. Right? You have to be. To survive in this new market, you have to be a jack of all trades. You have to know this. You have to know that. You have to know this. You have to know that. There's no such thing as having one skill. All I know how to do, look, you the dude on the job. Yeah, I can drive the forklift. Yeah, I've been driving the forklift 5 years. All you ninjas know how to do is drive the forklift, ninja. Yeah, I know how to use a hammer, ass ninja. Okay, ninja. That's all, ninja? That's it? Ninjas don't even have a wide variety of skills, right? What about your communication skills? Have you picked up a camera yet? Right? Have you practiced talking? Right? Have you practiced communicating to a large sum of people? Right? How's your confidence level? Have you been practicing your confidence? Right? But to build your confidence, guess what? You got to do things that are going to build your confidence. Right? Half of y'all don't want to try anything. Most of y'all don't want to try anything because you don't have the confidence to try it. Right? You think all these things that I've tried that I had the utmost confidence about, you think I wasn't, fearful of failing? Do you think I wasn't fearful of like, damn, I don't know if I can do this? Of course I did. But guess what? I jumped head first in there. Right? Because risk means reward. But none of y'all don't want to risk anything. Y'all don't want to risk anything. What if she break my heart? Then switch her ass out and get a better one, ninja. That's what you do. Well, I want her to love me for me. Ninja, none of these chicks are gonna love you for you. Right? You're a whole man. I was talking to this 20-year-old at work. 20-year-old dude, man. And basically we were going back and forth about 50-50. This is for you 50-50 ass ninjas. Right? We were going back and forth about 50-50. He believed in 50-50. Mind you, he's 20 years old, so he don't know nothing. Right? So he up there talking about I just feel like if we're both staying in the apartment, if we're both staying in the house, she need to pay the bills too. I'm like, bro, y'all don't understand. When you say that type of shit, do y'all not understand that turns a woman off? She may deal with you for a meantime, but she getting her cheeks clapped by somebody else more dominant. Right? And you may see online that woman, I don't mind going 50-50. Yeah, but I can do 50-50, but they'll say it with the what you call that? What's the word I'm looking for? But with the advisory to it, basically, the word I'm looking for. Yep, I go 50-50, but he has to be headed somewhere. I have to see where he's going. As long as he has a vision, I don't mind going 50-50 for a meantime. This ninja talking about going 50-50 the whole entirety of the relationship. He up there talking, he's swearing up and down like, yo, I get hoes though. I get hoes. Ninja, you 20 years old. I will hope you're getting some hoes because at 20 years old, some of these chicks don't care about that. They don't care about that. Jay said simple behavior. You know what's funny? He told me, and you know what's funny too, right? When I spoke on this before, it was so many dudes in the comment section talking about, man, Afterpill a simp. Tap a simp. Tap. He be simping. When I was talking about some, look, I like, I'd rather have a woman in her utmost femininity, right? Hair done, nails done, everything did, right? Paying this and paying that. This dude called me a simp for basically being a man. This dude called me a simp for being a man. You can't make this shit up. He called me a simp for actually wanting to be what you are traditionally supposed to be anyway. A producer, a provider. Ninja, he said, I'm the simp. But this ninja one is the one that's talking about going 50-50 with your lesser half, and I'm the simp. Okay. I was like, okay. I told him straight up, and I had to give him that real deal Holyfield, right? I had to spit that real game to him. I was like, bro, listen, you know how many 20-year-olds, but we the same generation. I'm just an older Gen Z. He's a younger Gen Z. But I told him straight up, I was like, you know how many 20-year-olds who's told me, like, they're tired of paying all the bills, or they're tired of their boyfriend, tired of having to split bills with their boyfriends, or chicks who just got out of relationship where they was the primary person who was paying all the bills, and they got tired of it, or they're complaining, talking about something, I can't do this and I can't do that. You know how many girls complaining to me about this, throwing you ninjas up under the bus? Yeah, they'll tell you, ninja, yeah, I don't have no problem with it, but that's just so they can keep you around, so they can monkey branch over to a ninja like me. That's it. You know how many women I've heard complain about that junk? But you up here talk, yeah, bro, I've been around. But you're gonna tell me what my knowledge is when you 20 years old. I'm almost 30 at this point. But you're gonna sit up here and tell me. I was like, bro, you can't win. Bro, these new dudes are done. These new dudes are done. Dan 22 said one of my old ass managers still fall in love. Age of Cali said these ninjas don't even think Brent swinging and hypergamy are real. Yeah, they don't, bro. You can't make this up, man. When I say men are doomed, we're doomed. Especially with the new gen, bro. Masculinity is dead. They don't believe in it. But here's the thing. Here's the reason why masculinity is dead, though, right? Because the men, especially the new men are following the women. They're following the women. This dude had the nerve, right? We were talking, and he had the nerve to bring in a chick into our conversation. I was like, bro, are you serious right now? Because we started talking about love and if a woman actually loves you for you and all that stuff. And he up there talking, he gonna bring a chick into the conversation. Is it true? Like, he's talking about there's no real love out here. He's talking about women can't love and women can't love men for men. And I'm like, bro, are you really gonna bring a woman into a man-on-man conversation? I was like, bro, did you really just do that? He's like, what? I'm just asking her. I'm just asking her opinion. I'm like, bro, why would a woman admit to you what we know as men? Does that make sense to you? If we are the natural authority, right? If we're the natural authority and we the ones that's supposed to know what's what, why would our lesser half be upfront, especially a modern woman? Why would they be upfront and honest about something that we know or supposed to know as men? I was like, bro, I just shook my head. I'm like, bro, I'm done talking to you. But after he did that, I just shook my head. I'm like, bro, you defer. What somebody said it. Adrian Collins said, men defer to female authority in a post-feminist society. Yes, I'm seeing that more and more. Men defer to female authority. Man, that's well put. Well, men defer to female authority in a post-feminist society. Man, you couldn't have said that any better. You couldn't have said that any better. Right? I'm like, it's a drizzle generation. Exactly. This dude he basically deferred to female authority in a post-feminist society. And I've seen many men do this. I've seen many, because I sit back and observe, right? And I've seen many men piggyback off of women. I'm having conversation with a dude and a woman to say something, and he'll just like, yeah, yeah, I like what she said. I'm like, and me knowing who I am, I'm a authoritative, I have an authoritative aura, right? I have a leadership aura, right? I have that about myself. So I know who I am, right? And I know people flock to me because of those capabilities, because of those characteristics. But what I am seeing more is men push masculinity aside, push that leadership aside, push those characteristics aside, and just outright disregard it for the lesser half's opinion. And this is on a deep psychological level. I'm starting to see that. And there's a video that we got to review this. I'm gonna have to review this tonight. I'm gonna probably do a video tonight. But if y'all, I'm sure y'all have heard of psych hacks. Kales, what's going on? I'm sure y'all have heard of psych hacks. Psych hacks broke this down in an impeccable way, right? In an impeccable way. Tony says, want to be treated like a king, got to bring that king energy and resources, right? Kel said, welcome to the infinite era. Yep, I said welcome. I've been saying welcome to the gynocracy. Welcome to the gynocracy. The gynocracy. Welcome to the matriarchy. This is where we are. This is where we are. I've been saying for a few months now, I've been saying that men are literally going to become slaves to women. I've been saying this. Women are going to run the modern era because guess what? Men are in lack. The 90-10 rule is in full effect. The 90-10 rule is in full effect. What has basically happened is women basically tricked the lower half of men to go against the hierarchy. So let me say that one more time. Women have basically tricked the lower half of men, which is the majority of men. Women have tricked the lower half of men, which is the majority of men, the men who are not winning, the men who are lames, the men who don't have the resources, they have no money, they have no game, they don't have no anything, they can't do anything, can't travel, can't do anything. The lower totem pole, which is 90% of men, right? We're sticking to the 90-10 rule, right? They've basically got the lower half to betray the top 10, 20% of men, right? To basically betray the alphas or whatever you want to call them, the top producers, who produce in society, right? Who get all the women. They've basically brainwashed the lower half of men through all of this stuff. That's why OnlyFans is so big. That's why, gooning is so big. Pornography is so big, right? They've led them to believe in the possibility of them being able to get with them, right? That's why OnlyFans is so dangerous, right? That's why OnlyFans is so dangerous. That's why all that stuff is so dangerous. But you know what? It is what it is, Ninja. I may start an OnlyFans at this point because ninjas don't want to do nothing else. Hey now. Listen, I may start a separate brand, Ninja. Don't get mad. Listen, don't get mad when I start a separate brand and I start putting up the OnlyFans models up there and start doing interviews and hey, make sure you click this link, Ninja. Yeah, with a big old Kool-Aid smile on my face. Make sure you click this link, Ninja. You're gonna want to see what's in there, Ninja. You're gonna want to see what's in there, Ninja. I have what you need, and I got what you want, Ninja. Just click this link right here, Ninja. Just click it. Click this link right here, Ninja. You want to see more of Stephanie? Click this link right here, Ninja. Right? You want to hear more of Stephanie? Click this link right here, Ninja. Right? You want to see those big old cups of Stephanie? Ninja, click this link right here, Ninja. Don't get mad at me, Ninja. Don't get mad at me when I start feeding the market what the market wants, Ninja. Because I'm tired of you ninjas too. I'm tired of you ninjas too. Right? This man said most guys getting bamboozled. Yep. Smiling like Terry Crews. Yep. I'm start a separate brand, Ninja. I'm gonna start a separate brand. I have chicks up there interviewing them, Ninja. Right? Interviewing them. Yep. Oh, you want to see more after hours, Ninja? Here, click this link right here, Ninja. Yeah, I'm tired of you ninjas too. Yep. Go ahead. Hell, you ninjas don't want to pay for real deal Holyfield knowledge and wisdom. So you, as a matter of fact, ninjas don't want to level up. Okay, I'm gonna give you ninjas the drugs that you want. Then how about that? Then I'm gonna become the neighborhood dealer ninja. How about that? I'm gonna feed you ninjas what you want. How about that? How about that? Ninja gonna eat that all up. Like, oh boy, stripper, oh boy, OF model. Well, I can't wait to get back home to jack the pickle to this one. I can't wait to get home to jack the Piggly Wiggly to this one. Dan22 said, hell yeah, get that Patreon going. I'm about to get the Patreon going. But the Gooners, for the Gooners, that's gonna be more OnlyFans though. The Gooners gonna be OnlyFans. The Patreon is gonna be more. The Patreon is gonna be more for what's the name? Dudes who really want to change their life. For you guys who really want to change your life, I'm putting all old material. I'm putting all ideological videos, material on. I'm putting all my travel content. You'll still see some bits and pieces on YouTube, but traveling and the rundown, what stuff cost and all that stuff, travel, like that's going on the Patreon. Yep, Ninja's gonna have to start paying. And if you don't want to pay, oh, okay, that's fine too. First of all, I only want the guys who want to pay anyway. I only want the guys who want to change their life anyway, right? One-on-ones coming soon, consultations coming soon, website coming soon. Yep, a lot of things are coming soon. If you want to change your life, tap in with the tap. If you want to change your life, tap in with the tap. I'm already heading in that direction. Relationships are dead, marriage is dead, right? We in the after pill era now. It's the after pill now. All that stuff that you previously known, it don't matter no more. It don't matter, right? So all the real knowledge and all the real wisdom that I'm gonna reveal, because I don't really go too deep on YouTube because ninjas can't handle it anyway. But ninjas gonna have to pay for the real wisdom. Ninjas gonna have to pay for the real wisdom. But back to my original, what I was saying, right? Women betrayed. Men. The lower half of men betrayed the top producers of men. So now we have a society of men who lean more onto women than they lean onto men, right? And that's why many men don't have friends, right? Because many men are at the bottom, right? Many men are a part of that 90%. So when we're talking about friends, right? When we're talking about friends, many men, they have female traits, right? That's why many men don't have friends. They're just feminized, right? Jealous, envious, all of these things that usually, women show. Man, I told you many times, right? I've run across a lot of solid women. I've run across more solid women than solid men. And that's just facts. Right? I've run across more solid women than solid men. Right? That's how it's getting. A lot of men, they just don't have it. Right? Because they're in lack. They're in lack. They're in love with the possibility of a woman. They're in love with the possibility of a traditional woman. They're in love with the possibility of a virgin. They're in love with the possibility of marriage. They're in love with all these possibilities. They're in love with all these ideas, right? That quite frankly don't exist anymore. Right? So they're still trying to hold on to all of these things that just don't exist. Right? They're thinking ideologically. Not ideologically, they're thinking idealistic, right? Just like women, right? Women stay in delusional land. They stay in la la land, right? They stay in the world fairy tale land that don't exist, right? They want a 6'8", dang on giant who make $1 million a year, who got the big digging stick, pause, no diddy, who can take a trip to Cabo every other week. Listen. That ninja is one in a billion, ninja. But guess what? They live for the possibility of just being in the presence of that 1 in a billion guy. And some of them, they end up getting in the presence of one of these 1 in a billion guys, right? And they don't settle for any other guy, right? They may smash a few guys, right? Who's still in that upper echelon, but they're still chasing a dragon. They chasing a dragon, trying to get that upper echelon guy, trying to get that 1 in a billion guy. Right? It's just like men. It's exactly like men. They're in love with the possibility of marriage. They're in love with the possibility of the white picket fence. They're in love with the possibility of a traditional woman. They're in love with all these possibilities that basically many men still get out here and get bamboozled. They still get out here and get what's that dude name who I did the video on, who married the Latina chick, the black dude who playing football, right? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Dang, Travis Hunter, that's his name. Travis Hunter, right? A lot of these dudes getting Travis Hunter out here, right? A known 304, a known hoe, right? But he still married her. And that's what a lot of guys are doing, just because they want the possibility of a marriage. They want the possibility. They're in love with the possibility. They're in love with all the delusional factors, right? A lot of the group says, Tap, I see these dating coaches now promoting branding these days. You're right. Dating is dead on YouTube. Right? Kel said, RIP Sydney Sweeney. What you mean? She passed? No, she didn't. RIP Sydney Sweeney. You got to be careful putting that in there. Oh, I'm like, what? I was about to exit out the live and read an article or something. I'm like, what? 50 Cent X was involved with Diddy. Yep. Paul says, bro, spot on. I appreciate it. Kel said, okay. But yeah, I'm just stating facts. And this is why men don't want to, and two, this is why many men don't want to self-improve, because many women, like if you'll see online now, a lot of women will say, I like a dad bod. You've been seeing, I'm sure y'all been seeing that trend now. I don't like the muscular look. That means he's in the gym too much and he doesn't have time for me, or he's just probably too into himself, right? Many women are saying that now, right? Oh, see, he's too much into himself, right? Or you know, I like the dad bod. Guess what? Y'all understand why they're saying that, right? Men are so stupid. They don't understand why they're saying that. Why y'all think she's saying that? Why y'all think women are saying that? They're saying that is because they're trying to tap into the lower pool of men, right? They're already competing for the top 10% of men. They know what's going on. They know that the guts get wet and it gets bubbly down there and heated down there for the top 10%. They know who they really like to dig them out. They know that stuff already, but they're in so much competition. But for business, for their own wealth, for the men who follow them, for the men who subscribe to them, the majority of them, guess who they are? They're the gooners, right? They're the lower 90% of men. So of course they're gonna say, oh yeah, we like the dad bods, right? We don't like the muscular bodies. We like the dad bods. Why? They want the men who don't tap into, you know, self-development. They want the men who don't tap into being the best version of themselves, right? Because those are the men who are going to pay consistently, right? They know that they can get one of these top 10% guys and get banged out and just thrown out the door. And, you know, they may throw them a little change, may take them on a little shopping spree, buy them a little Gucci bag, buy them a little Chanel bag, then let them ride in a Lamborghini, but they know they got to go back home, right? But for the bulk of their money is coming from the gooners, right? And the gooners are the bottom 90% of men.